Memorable Mauritius. This trip is referred as Strawberry Holidays. This was not a group booking. It is planned for two persons according to our convenience, but everything will be arranged by Kesari people. The flight tickets will be booked directly to the net and also the hotels. The hotel will arrange coach for receiving us at the airport and dropping and also for sightseeing. It was a package of 7 days and 6 nights. For Mauritius, only one flight is there on alternate days by Air Mauritius. We started from Mumbai on 6 July early morning flight and returned on 13 July early morning. We had a comfortable journey and the food was also good. My partner was my good. So now I come to our trip. We had an early morning flight at 6:30 from Mumbai and reached there at 11:30 a.m. We are one and a half hours ahead than Mauritius, so Indian time 1 p.m. After immigration and baggage clearance, we came out from the airport at 1 p.m. The hotel coach was ready outside the airport and we were taken to the hotels. Since the resort is a little away from the main city, we had 1.5 hours drive from the airport to reach the resort. The resort had a very beautiful beach of crystal clear blue water with green algae, which is very good for skin. And lots of single boats and pedestal boats were there, which you can use as you like, and so many beach activities you can do. You can play football on the beach, swim or just walk in water and also take sun bath and also relax. We reached the hotel at 2:30 p.m. We had a light lunch and after taking some rest, we took some coffee and dressed up and we went to the lobby where our guide was waiting to discuss about our 3-day sightseeing programs and other optional activities for which we have to pay in Mauritius money. Then we went around the hotel, had a good walk, took some snaps. At 8 p.m. we had our dinner. This is the time when winter starts and it is breezy in the evening, good air, pure, clear and crystal clear water, and really you will have a good relaxation. For dinner, lots of things were there. You can eat whatever you like. Vegetarian food were kept in separate place and non-vegetarian separately. There was separate place for Italian, Chinese food and also seafood, which is very famous. Daily ice creams were there. So after dinner, we went to the room and had a good rest. That was the day. Day 2. Since we had leisure day, we got up little late, had morning walk and after heavy breakfast. Lots of fresh fruits, all types of fruits, especially lots of pineapples which really were very sweet and fresh. Indian parathas, bhajias, vegetables, yogurts, fruit, sweet and sour yogurts. Different types of breads, cakes, fresh juices were there. Hot tea and coffee were also supplied. After breakfast, we went to the beach for boating and also walked to a distance in the water, had sun bath, relaxed for some time and returned to our rooms. Had a good bath and light lunch and had a rest in the evening. The weather was little chill with light drizzling. So we were in the room itself enjoying in the TV the CNN programs. At 8 p.m. we had dinner and attended the music and dance program for a while and returned to our room, and that was the end of the day. Before proceeding further, I would like to give some details about Mauritius. About Mauritius, the beautiful tropical island of Mauritius is located in the Indian Ocean just east of the Spice Island of Madagascar. It sits like a jewel in the ocean, almost entirely surrounded by one of the longest and most spectacular coral reefs in the world. Mauritius continues to fulfill every visitor's dream of a tropical paradise. With the swaying palms, towering volcanic mountains and dazzling blue ocean, Mauritius is a place where stress does not get a visa. Take the drive from the airport to the capital city. It is 1.5 hours of invigorating bliss, especially for the jaded city slickers. Sugarcane fields stretch on the miles on both sides of the highway. The air is clean and road is only a word in the dictionary. The beaches are probably the place where you can experience paradise on the firm. The beaches are probably the place where you can experience paradise. The clear blue water stretches beyond the horizon with only a small boat, yacht or canoe bobbing up to break the blue vision. The waves are so gentle that they almost seem about touching the shores. If you are thinking of splashing your feet in the water, go easy, walk into the sea, and you will have to remind yourself that this is not a swimming pool. The water is almost still crystal clear but salty. Mauritians are understandably passionate about their beaches. The water is almost still crystal clear but salty. Mauritians are understandably passionate about their beaches. There are several extremely beautiful public beaches besides those which are part of the hotel property. You can shut yourself from the world. Take a long walk on its loamy, soft brown sand. Go for swim. Go for boating. Make sand castles or just chill. The best part is you can do it day after day. Mauritius receives about 7 lakh tourists in a year, of which France alone accounts for about 2 lakh with another lakh coming from UK. A mind-boggling one-third of the tourists are repeat tourists, proving that you have not seen it all and done it all. India sends out about 2 lakh tourists and the number is rapidly increasing. Tourism contributes about 6% towards Mauritius GDP and provides employment to 50,000 persons. There are some pretty well and policies and laws that regulate the industry. In the countryside, no construction can be taller than a palm tree. In the coastal region, even to build a house, approval from the Ministry of Tourism is needed. The country is also very clear about what kind of people it wants. Besides the environmental treasures, they have a rich and diverse cultural heritage which complements well with the sun, sea and sand. They are also thinking of tying up with a few African countries and offering a package to travelers so that they can bundle up their game safari visits in Kenya or South Africa with the pristine beaches of Mauritius. Official name Republic of Mauritius. Time difference 1.5 IST. Capital Port Louis. People, it is remarkable in ethnic diversity reflected by multicultural society as Indians, Africans, Chinese and Europeans. Language spoken is English, French, Sirol, Bhojpuri, Tamil, Hakka, Cantonese. Religion Hindu 51%, Christian 30%, Muslim 17%, 2% others. Currency Mauritius rupees. So on the third day, after heavy breakfast, we left the hotel in the coach, first to a place where people go for undersea walk. It takes approximately half an hour to reach. the place. Those who are not interested can go for shopping in a small village. There are shops which sell items at discounted rates. For undersea walkers, a pickup boat takes you from designated points on shore and transfers you to the platform. After the brief instruction on safety rules, you are ready to wear the crown. The crown is a specially designed diving helmet which receives a constant supply of fresh air from the surface is attached to your shoulders. You can take a walk on the sandy bottom of the lagoon. You are allowed to feed the fish. After 20 to 25 minutes, you come up. This walk is absolutely safe for non-swimmers also. We hold each other's hands and they put a net around you for safety. Next, they took us to a place where we went in a speedboat to another island called the Lai Ark Serves. It is an island on the east coast of Mauritius with several excellent sandy beaches for swimming and snorkeling. The speedboat went at a great speed in the blue crystal clear water that we felt we might fall off into the water. We had to sit in the middle of the boat to have some balance. It was a nice experience. There were also optional activities like parasailing, helicopter ride, blue safari, submarine, etc. You have to pay for each activities. Since we had enjoyed these activities in Australia, we went on to surf the island. We went around the island in the speedboat and were taken to a waterfall. It was a thrilling experience for 1.5 hours. We walked on white sandy beaches. There were also single and pedal boats. We took some snaps and had our lunch. There are restaurants which supply different kinds of food in this island. We ordered for a simple meal of rice, sambar, vegetables, papad and drinks. Then we left for the speedboat ride around the island. After the ride, we were dropped in the place where our coach was waiting. We reached our hotel at 4:30 p.m. and had good tea. At 8 p.m. we had our dinner and that was the end of the day. Now coming to the fourth day, that is 9th July. After breakfast, we left the hotel at 10:30 a.m. in the coach. We visited a UNESCO World Heritage Site called Uppervasi Ghat. Those who like history will enjoy the story of the Uppervasi Ghat. Uppervasi Ghat is one of the 830 sites listed in UNESCO World Heritage Sites. The term Uppervasi refers to the immigration depot of Mauritius. Uppervasi means immigrant and Ghat signifies the place where the water meets the land. In Mauritius, indentured laborers disembark at Uppervasi Ghat before being sent to work on the island sugar estates. Uppervasi Ghat is the most important surviving manifestation of the indentured labor system that existed in the colonial world during the 19th and early 20th centuries. Uppervasi Ghat represents the beginning of the great experiment initiated by the British government in the use of indentured labor after the abolition of slavery. Mauritius was the first colony to get indentured laborers. The success of this experiment in Mauritius encouraged other European colonies around the world to adopt the system. The Uppervasi Ghat is also an architectural ensemble that represents the beginning of a new economic order that had come into existence by the early 19th century. The colonial government established immigration depots in several colonies to receive and distribute contractual laborers. Most of the immigrants came from India, Southeast Asia, Madagascar, and Eastern Africa. Uppervasi Ghat is unique as no other country in the world has such a well-preserved site as Mauritius. The indentured labor 1834 to 1920. The term indenture refers to a written contract entered into by one person to work for another person for a specified period of time. An indentured immigrant was an individual who agreed to be transported to a colony to labor, often for 5 years or more. The laborer's contract provides the details and other terms of employment and outlines the general standard of living wage, working hours, type of work, rations, housing, and medical care. During the period second of indenture, more than 2 million indentured laborers were shipped from Africa, Asia to British France, Dutch, and Spanish colonies. More than 1.2 million of these laborers came from India and were shipped to Caribbean, South America, Southern and Eastern Africa, the Indian Ocean, and South Pacific. Mauritius is significant as it welcomed the largest contingent of these immigrants, over 450,000. We visited the immigration depot, which includes sheds for immigrants, quarters for officers, and hospitals. A local guide took us to these places and explained the history of the place. There was also an office for the protector of immigrants, which is responsible for administrating immigration system by supervising the disembarkation of immigrants, registering and photographing them, allocating them to sugar estates, reporting on their living and working condition, and overseeing their re-embarkation return to India upon the completion of their contracts. An Uppervasi Ghat Trust Fund was also created to preserve and conserve the Uppervasi Ghat. We left Uppervasi Ghat at 12 noon to Port Louis, the capital city and the harbour of Mauritius. It lies on the northwestern coast and is surrounded by a semicircle of mountains. Port Louis was founded by the French governor Maher de Labourdonnais in 1735. The city covers only 45 kilometers. It is the hub of all business activities in Mauritius. Port Louis shows signs of its past elegance. The government house and the palace dogs is a good example. The Supreme Court, the museum, and colonial houses are lodged between modern buildings. First, we went to the Port Louis Citadel Fort, which was up on a hill, from where you get a panoramic view of Port Louis. We were given 15 minutes here. We left at 12:30 p.m. for the orientation tour of Port Louis, which includes Catholic Church, Mosque, High Court, Building Port Louis Theatre, French colonial buildings, etc. Then we were taken to the Cowden waterfront. It is an architectural marvel. It houses large and spacious shopping centers, fast food outlets, restaurants, cinemas, and casinos, apart from a luxury hotel. Overlooking the harbour, this place is a must-see. We were dropped at this place for lunch, shopping, and to roam around for 2 hours, from 1 to 3 p.m. Since we had lot of time, we fully walked around the waterfront, overlooking the harbour, and took lots of snaps. As such, we did not do much shopping, and we had a good food. We had good food at McDonald's. Our coach came to pick up at 3 p.m. and our next visit was to the botanical gardens. Towards evening, the weather was very good. SSR botanical gardens are known to naturalists throughout the world for its large collection of indigenous and exotic plants, including the giant Victoria Amazonica water lilies and many species of palm trees. The 60-acre garden boasts of 500 different species of plants, of which 80 are palms. Of particular interest are the giant water lilies, a spice garden, and the talipole palm, which is said to flower every 60 years, after which it dies. We finished touring the garden by 4:30 p.m. and returned to our hotel at 6 p.m. Here we had hot vanilla tea. Our room had buckets of tea, coffee, cream, and sugar. Packets are good quantities. There was also an electric kettle, so we could make our own coffee or tea. It was winter in Mauritius. And there was slight drizzling towards the evening. Now coming to the 5th day of the tour, that is 10th July. After breakfast, we left the hotel at 10 a.m. This day, they took us to shopping centers. We were taken to shops that sold goods at discount rates for up to 60%. We could get T-shirts for 150 Mauritian rupees, and other items were also sold at low prices. Next, our visit was to a famous gold and diamond store. Next, we visited the Flora Square model ship factory where ships of different designs are made. Some other handicraft items were also on display. To us, everything seemed costly since 60% of the items were imported and so were costly. We took a lot of snaps of the different ships and left the place. Next, our visit was to the volcanic crater which lies dormant. It was surrounded by lush green trees and bushes. Then we left to the grand basin, the sacred lake and Shiva temple. To reach this place, we had to cross 54 curves since it is on top of the hill like a hill station. The temple called Ganga Talav is an important pilgrim site and many local Mauritians of Hindu faith come here during the Mahashivratri festival to offer prayers to Lord Shiva. While the main deity is Lord Shiva, other deities are also there. It is a well-maintained temple with good architecture. The guide told us that it is one of the important shrines of Shiva. There is a big temple tank in the temple complex which gets water from the river, Black River George. We prayed in the temple, had darshan of the deities, took snaps and left the place to a village called Pipe. It was a scenic residential town. We had our lunch there and at 1:30 p.m. we left for Chamaral. After 1:30 p.m. left for Chamaral. A winding road leads from Kesenoil village to the colored earths of Chamaral, an undulating landscape of different and contrasting colors. Different shades of green, red and yellow are apparently the result of the erosion of volcanic Chamaral colored. This natural phenomenon is due to the decomposed basalt. The climate helps in the decomposition of the basalt into chemicals break down of minerals by water. Solubles are washed away, leaving a large composition which constitute a ferritic soap. The iron gets oxidized of ferrous oxide and aluminium to aluminum oxide. The neighboring waterfalls of Chamaral rise from the moors and the native plant life and is very beautiful. The water is supplied by rivers State Davis and Bianda Sale. The water flow is more from December to April. It is about 100 meters high and has two different lava flows. One can see from the bottom of a first flow of Braccio 8 to 10 million years, where the decomposed part, being very thick, proves that it has been exposed for several million years before being recovered by another lava. We saw these three big tortoises sleeping here. We had to drive for 2 hours to get back to the hotel. We passed through the lots of sugarcane fields on the way. Some details about sugars. While sugar is taken from beetroot and processed, and brown sugar is taken from sugarcane. When the plant comes to a certain height and the long leaves get dried, it is time to cut the plant and then is processed in sugar mills. We reached our hotel at 6:30 p.m. We had hot tea and took some rest. After dinner at 6:30 p.m. we attended a program of music and the famous dance of Mauritius, the Saga dance.